Hello everyone, it's Dr. Sam. I'd like to welcome you to my EyeClarity podcast. This is a show that offers cutting-edge information on how to improve your vision and overall wellness through holistic methods. I so appreciate you spending part of your day with me. If you have questions, you can send them to hello@drsamberne.com. Now, to the latest EyeClarity episode. Hey everybody, it's Dr. Sam and I'd like to welcome you to my EyeClarity podcast. Before we get to today's show, you can always text me your questions, 1-844-932-1291, or send me an email, hello@drsamberne.com. I've got a couple of great workshops coming up in March in Southern California. I'll be in San Diego March 5th, LA March 7th, and Santa Barbara March 12th, doing my famous masterclass. I'm back doing that again in person. This is a great way to work with me one-on-one if you've got an issue that you haven't been able to solve. So you can go to my website, drsamberne.com, to register. And I'll be doing some book events. As you know, my new book, Vital Vision, is coming out the end of February. We're in a pre-sale right now. So if you want to order the book, you'll get a discount. And there are also some events happening. You can sign up and we can do an online workshop. That's going to be happening in April. Also, you can get some coaching one-on-one sessions with me if you buy the book. And I'll be doing a gathering in Santa Fe in September. This is going to be a small group at my Geodome. So if you'd like to register for that, we'd love to have you. Okay, now time for the show. Hey everybody, welcome to my podcast today. I'm doing some mountaineering. And in fact, I've got I'll show you my shoes. So I got some cleats here. So I'm going to be heading up the mountain. But I wanted to get this information out, so here we go. Hey everybody, it's Dr. Sam and I'm on my morning walk. In this podcast today, I'm going to talk about dry eye and my newest information as of 2023. So I hope you enjoy the show. Hey everybody, it's Dr. Sam and I want to welcome you to my podcast today. I'm doing some mountaineering up in the snow. We just had a great snowfall. And I want to talk to you about dry eye. And again, we're 2023, and this is my newest information. I've been working with dry eye for over 3 decades, tried a lot of different things. And today, I want to give you my newest and best information. So the first thing to know about dry eye is that most people do suffer some dryness, and they have suffered some dryness either because of endocrine imbalances or just extended usage on screen time. Our digital devices today are drying us out, and couple that with environmental toxicities, stress, and our speeded up lifestyle. This is affecting our adrenals. Our cortisol levels are off the charts. More and more people are having thyroid imbalances, estrogen imbalances, testosterone imbalances. All of these things contribute to dry eye. Now, I know when you go to your eye doctor, he's looking at your corneas, he's made look at your eyelids, and that's kind of where it stops. And there are some fancy procedures like LipiFlow or getting on the eye drop Restasis, and those work okay. It's more of a symptom approach. And, my perspective is not for everybody. It's not a quick fix. I also would say that in dry eye, there are definitely systemic and metabolic reasons as well as eye reasons. So I'm going to talk on the micro, and then I'm going to talk on the macro. All right, so first of all, one of the keys in reducing dry eye is reducing any inflammation in and around the eyes. And the place where we can get inflammation is the eyelids. And around the eyelashes is a set of glands called meibomian glands. These are the glands that produce the oily part of the tears that keep our tears from evaporating too quickly. One of the diagnoses that you'll hear thrown around in the dry eye clinics is something called meibomian gland dysfunction. Another one you'll hear is chronic blepharitis. So in both of these conditions, you got a problem with the eyelid, and there's inflammation going on that could be just locally because the eyelids are inflamed, or you also may have some secondary conditions going on in the body. And I'm going to bookmark that. I'll come back to that later. So the first thing is there's an eyelid problem, not producing the proper tears that you need. And then second of all, you may not be getting enough healthy omega-3 fats and oils into your body. And this has an effect on producing the proper tears. Number 3, if you are on screen time, I would strongly consider A, not using progressive lenses. You want to use a single vision lens that's specifically and exclusively for the computer. If you're using progressive lenses for your computer time, you are stressing your eyes out. And again, you can look at some of my other video blogs on the pros and cons of progressive lenses. But if you're doing long-term focusing through a split lens, you're asking for trouble. In addition, if you're wearing a prescription that's calculated either for distance or for reading, that's going to weaken your eyes more, and your eyes are going to get more stressed. All of this is going to lead to dry eye. Another factor is, and this is more of the functional aspect of your two eyes, are they working together in a balanced way? I find when I test people, if they're right-handed, their right eye is doing 80% and their left eye is doing 20%. And in some cases, the brain is actually shutting off the left eye. So you have to get tested for visual coordination, depth perception. You have to ask your eye doctor for this type of test. And then finally, the eye nutrients that are missing: vitamin A, zinc, the B vitamins, vitamin C, vitamin E, especially the tocotrienols. Those are the new forms of vitamin E that I have discovered to be much better for your eyes than the old-time vitamin E. And then you've got things like bilberry, lutein, zeaxanthin, astaxanthin. You need to be getting these into your diet. Now, in terms of eye drops, there are a lot of eye drops on the market. And I have gone through extensive research, and also I'm very fastidious about what I recommend in terms of eye drops. So to start off with, if you got really bad dry eye, you're just not hydrating enough, consider artificial tears. Oasis, Similicin has a new eye drop out that you could use. It's more in the homeopathic world. I like that one. That's very good. Or my MSM eye drops. And I would start with the 5%. I might even consider the 15% eye mist. That works very well for, again, calming down the eyelids, and you can use that during the day. And then in the evening, I've developed a castor oil eye drop. And I'm going to pause here and talk a little bit about castor oil. There was actually a study that was done on the relationship between the meibomian gland dysfunction, and dry eye. And the researchers used a castor oil eye drop as a substitute instead of using other eye drops. Because of the oily nature of the castor oil, it substituted from the lack of oiliness in the inherent tears that people would produce, and they found that the meibomian gland dysfunction went down significantly. So in the evening, I would start using the castor oil eye drop before bed. And again, start slow, start easy. Sometimes if you use too much too fast, it triggers a detoxification experience. Your eyes can even swell up, they can get puffy, they can get red. And we think it's the eye drop, but actually the eye drop is just trying to help you get rid of toxins in the eye. So if you've had any kind of eye surgery, if you've been exposed to heavy metals or mold or pesticides, the eyes are a very vulnerable place where we absorb and we receive and internalize those toxicities. And since the eyes have the highest metabolic need in the body, if you start using some natural products, it's going to trigger the release of these toxins. Now, in terms of systemic things, I think you need to get your thyroid checked. I think you need to get your estrogen levels checked, your testosterone levels, your cortisol levels. Get an endocrine testing done, because a lot of times, if you've got metabolic imbalance, it causes the eyes to dry out. Okay, my last point, and this is one I've made quite a lot, but you may not have heard of it. And this has to do with the relationship between the liver, the gallbladder, and vitamin A. So in order to be able to absorb vitamin A, it's a fat-soluble vitamin, and I'd also add lutein and zeaxanthin, those plant-based carotenoids. You need bile, which is produced in the liver and stored in the gallbladder, to be able to absorb your vitamin A. And I can't tell you the number of patients I've had over the years with dry eye, with floaters, who have a challenge in their liver. And there could be a variety of reasons why, but in any event, if the liver is not producing enough bile and it's not stored in the gallbladder, you can have as much vitamin A and beta carotene. If you're not absorbing it, then it's not helping you. And vitamin A is critically important to improve dry eye syndrome. So the answer is to supplement with something called bile salts. You would do this after a meal, and the bile salts will help you be able to absorb the vitamin A and the lutein and zeaxanthin, your fat-soluble vitamins. And this could be a game changer in terms of your dry eye, especially if nothing else has worked. Now, you could go to a Chinese medicine doctor and have them test your liver meridian. They can read your pulses, your gallbladder. And if you've got any issues going on, then I would definitely boost your liver health, your gallbladder health, and also I would consider maybe a few months of the bile salts after meals. So again, my approach doesn't work for everybody. I tend to try to treat the cause and not the symptoms. And I know there are a lot of people out there that are just in such excruciating pain and they just want some symptom help. And I get that. But if you want to join my train and you want to try to figure out what the cause is and treating the cause, my approach works really well, especially it lasts. It's long lasting. Things don't come back. So give it a try. Well, that's my show for today. I'm going to continue up the mountain. I want to thank you so much for tuning in. Take care. Thank you for listening. I hope you learned something from the EyeClarity podcast show today. If you enjoyed the episode, make sure to subscribe on iTunes or Spotify and leave a review. See you here next time.